Overreaction
Okay,
number two for me.
interesting.
This is Justin Herbert's breakout year. This one right here. This is going to be the year. Right now, Herbert is on pace for 4,760 yards and 42 touchdowns. The 42 is conservative, by the way. It's technically 42 and a half, but I round it down for you. His completion percentage so far is 72.1%. He's yet to throw an interception this season, and his success rate is 54.5%. He's first in EPA per dropback, and the Chargers are first in offensive DVOA. He's got the fifth best pressure rate, but the 10th best time to throw, which means he is getting to hold the ball a little bit, and he's not getting clobbered. So he's like actually got time back there, and is league average in sacks per game at 2.5, which is 16th. And his 63 yards rushing through 2 weeks is on pace for over 500 yards, which would crush his previous season high of 306. So this was the thing with Herbert. It was like his first year he came out like guns blazing, right? 5,000 yards, like all this stuff, like
Hmm.
carefree, right? This man was just launching it and going crazy. And then he became very reserved as time went along. And, you look at his string of offensive coordinators in those years and you understand it. There's very old school, very vanilla West Coast offense, like kind of stuff we were talking about earlier. And where it's just like, yeah, just like throw to the sticks or check it down here, like get to your check down
Hmm.
quick, don't take the sacks, blah blah blah. And now with Harbaugh and Roman in year two of their offense, there's a confidence and like a almost a pressure on him to like be great. Like, hey, go do stuff. We want you to do different things. I didn't know what to do with the Chargers in that power rankings episode a couple weeks ago. And I love Herbert. You know this. I absolutely love Herbert. And I think like if I was just ranking on him alone, I would have had them way higher, and that's what Josh ended up doing. And like even if I just think about like parts of the team, right? Like I think this is the best complement of receivers he's ever had. Keenan Allen is back. He's not what he was 3 years ago, but he's back. He's there. Lad McConkey's a star. Quentin Johnston's playing the best ball of his career. Plus, you throw in a rookie wild card and Trey Harris, who like if he gives you anything, like that's great. And there's enough on this offensive line with the addition of Mekhi Becton adding some real beef on the interior that was necessary, but I didn't know what to do with Rashawn Slater being out, right? Who in his Chargers career, anytime he had been hurt for an extended period of time, the Chargers were just bad. But what I didn't really consider was if Joe Alt can just be Rashawn Slater, right? Which like I was fairly confident, like Alt moving to the left side is what he played in college. I thought he was an awesome prospect. Just having that one pillar kind of has saved the offensive line. Even with Trey Pipkins over there on the right side, who, by the way, allowed no quick pressures or sacks from Max Crosby Monday night. So, like, not bad Trey Pipkins. But Joel Alt being that Rashawn Slater pillar, even though you don't have the bookend Pro Bowl or all pro level tackles, you still have one guy, which in the past, when they didn't have Slater, they didn't have, right? They had no Pro Bowl tackles. So that's a nice proof of concept, I think. Through 2 weeks, the defense also looked strong again. You mentioned this earlier. Despite consternation from me about the roster, and TBD now with Khalil Mack suffering that elbow injury Monday night. But I think that's more about the Chargers team as a whole. But I think there's enough there that they're not going to be like constantly putting them in bad situations, basically. So if the O line and the pass catchers can hold up across the year two of this coaching staff, I see Herbert at least finishing in the top three of MVP voting. He's back in the Pro Bowl. He hasn't been a Pro Bowl quarterback since 2021, just because the AFC QBs are so always so loaded. But I see him getting all pro votes and officially putting the naysayers to rest. This will be, I guess, last year will be the last year that everyone's like, I don't really see it with Herbert, even if the team doesn't go on to the AFC Championship game. I think this is the year that just like wire to wire, the team is good, Herbert's good, the numbers look good, and we can all put all this like Twitter's favorite quarterback thing to rest.
So I've been frustratingly um hard on Herbert to um your own frustration. Like I've said, I've gone back to the whole Moneyball thing. It's like, well, if he's a good hitter, why doesn't he hit good? Like if he's a good quarterback, then why doesn't he win football games? Type deal. Um, because you're saying he's this elite guy. It's like he's not winning games. How can he be truly elite?
You're
because
trying to bait me into an
quarterback
argument that's not even
wins is a
about what I'm
big
saying right now. You're
measuring
very
point
annoying.
for me, right? I well, no, 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 I'm getting there. I'm getting there. If you're going to base that off of two games against the Chiefs, which who knows what they are at this point in the dynasty, is this like the continuation of the dynasty or is it the end of the dynasty? Still, again, TBD. They have Patrick Mahomes, so you'd like to think it's still going on, but again, we will see about that. And then the Raiders, who looked improved, but didn't look fantastic, especially on offense. So if you're going to base those claims on those two opponents, I would typically disagree, be like, okay, I need to see something a little bit like I want to see them go up against the Eagles or go up against the Bills or a more talented defense than the two that he faced. Not saying the Chiefs have a bad defense, but like I wouldn't could put them up in the elite tier of defenses, right? Um, But in general, in concept, I actually do agree with you because if this is the way the Chargers are going to be playing football and they're going to be playing all of their opponents this way, just following the overreaction part,
Mhm.
there's no reason he's not going to be in the MVP voting, barring an injury, right? So I've always said he has the tools. He has everything. Now he has the coaching staff. Quentin Johnson isn't dropping footballs left and right anymore. He's actually catching them. He's actually made some pretty insane catches. So if he's the first round receiver that they wanted him, to be, then there's there would be zero excuses because he also has Amarian Hampton, who I was really high on coming
Mhm.
out of UNC this year, and I know you really like Najee Harris. I'm not as big on him, but now you have a run
Slow
game
down
with
on
Greg
the really
Roman.
like Najee Harris. He's
Well,
fine.
you you you
He's
were you were okay with Najee Harris.
he's useful. I would call him useful. He had some nice pass pro last night, Monday night. Couple
Okay.
nice catches.
Yes. Um, so now you have a running game with Greg Roman designed, a run game. Okay, and now you have Herbert with receivers that are actually going to catch the football, and you have the coaching staff with Harbaugh. There, there's no excuse anymore, and Burrow's down, right? The Chiefs look vulnerable.
Hmm.
There, I'm actually agreeing with you 100% on this. He should be the MVP of the league. They should be battling with Buffalo and Baltimore for the number one seed because there are zero excuses now. You have everything you could possibly need. You have a defense. Again, remains to be seen how elite they are, but they seem to be approaching that tier if they're not there already through 2 weeks. There's no excuse. None. You have to at least get to the divisional round in the playoffs this year, and you should be in the MVP voting. If you're not, then I'm sorry, dude. You're not that guy. You're not that guy, pal. You're just I think we can acknowledge if they don't get there, there's something wrong with him, and if there's not like piles of injuries.
Well, we're not going to acknowledge that because you moved the goalpost, and this has always been my argument for it. But when you quoted Moneyball, what's the quote? Um, if he's a good hitter, why don't he
If he's a
hit
good
good?
hitter, why doesn't he hit good? Yeah.
But then for Herbert, you said if he's a good quarterback, why doesn't the team win games? Shouldn't it be?
Well, well,
Should no
baseball is
no
a
no
very
no,
individual.
no, no.
Baseball's individual, not team.
Is is the ability of a quarterback to throw the ball imperative on how well the defense plays or how well the offensive line blocks in the run game or how well the receivers catch the ball, like you just mentioned, with Johnston and the pass of Mike Williams and there's this has
What
always been the
have what have
goalpost.
what
This
have
is
what have all the elite quarterbacks that you would consider elite, what have they all done? Won in the playoffs, gotten to the playoffs multiple times,
who is
oftentimes because of them, not in spite of them.
who's the best if we want to go full first take here. Who's the best individual second player that the Chargers have had since Herbert has been on the team? Would you say?
Gosh. I would say a healthy Mike Williams or a healthy Keenan Allen.
Okay.
But
Is that getting your innards going? Like a Tyreek
eh,
Hill, a Chris Jones, Travis Kelce, um,
look,
Roquan
I mean,
Smith, Kyle Hamilton, which by the way, like does Lamar, and I love Lamar. This isn't a Steelers anti-Lamar thing. I absolutely love Lamar. Lamar's never made the conference championship. He's only made the divisional round a couple times. Um, but is this any of those guys or Derrick Henry or um who else can I pick off from the Ravens? Mark Andrews in his prime, or is this the Bills and all the guys they've had cycle through that defense, or Stephon Diggs, obviously, or even James Cook right now, Deion Dawkins. Like it hasn't been until like, and there's obviously Derwin James, but like he's been hurt through a lot of the career, and he plays safety, and like he's always changed positions based on like who the coach has been. I'm just saying we moved the goalpost for Herbert. And the idea that we could also talk about like from a draft perspective. Now the Ravens are weird because they moved back up to get Lamar at 32, but that first pick was still what 25, Hayden Hurst wherever he was taken. All those other guys
mhm,
were had to the team had to trade up to get them, right? So like the team was already better positioned, whereas the Chargers were starting with Herbert at the fifth overall pick. Now it's been a long time. They've had to build teams, and I'm not even saying Herbert's perfect, but that was
right.
you got us down a road. There you go. We got our argument in. The point of this is everything is set up. The rushing yards is what really gets me, and like his air yards per attempt through 2 weeks
Yeah.
and his yards per attempt through 2 weeks is up by 2 yards and what he's just. And this was such a big thing going into last year where Harbaugh just wanted Herbert to be more aggressive. And
Hmm.
I don't think he's heard that since he's been in the NFL. Hey, go throw interceptions. Go get sacked. Like hold on to the ball, make something happen. Go run the ball. Um, those are the parts that are encouraging me because like when Greg Roman came in, it's like he does a lot of like QB run stuff, Kaepernick and Jackson. Like, what is this gonna look like? But like Herbert can run, man, and he ran more
Yeah.
last year than he had in his career, except for one of the years, I think. If I can pull it up quickly and double check that, yeah, the 306 yards was his career high since 2021 when he had 302 yards. Um, but like I said, now he's on track for 500. So if he's buying into that part and just like going for it, um, could be a special year for Justin Herbert.